Hello and welcome to Mount Shasta. I am up on the mountain just by maybe a few thousand feet above town, and I came up here to speak in private to the mullein patch. As any plant that is considered a weed, or really just a plant that's not native to the area, it can be challenging to find good quality alone time with these plants as they grow in disturbed areas primarily. So I'm here in the Ponderosa Pines, and the trees as we know them as the lungs of the planet, serving that function of the planet's respiratory system. The mullein likewise is thought of as a plant that represents the health of the lungs of the human. And there's a little disturbed patch down at the end of this little old logging road, really, that has mullein growing in it. And mullein is one of the first plants that will come up after trees have been removed through logging, through fire, and even in the building of roads. So you'll see mullein often growing on the side of the road. And mullein is there to prepare the soil for the next phase of plants or trees that are coming. So there is a relationship here between the Ponderosa pine and the mullein plant, and the lungs and the breath. So the qualities, and I will be making my way down to this sunny, hot patch where the mullein is growing. The qualities of mullein are that it is an anti-inflammatory, it is an antispasmodic, it is a emollient, a demulcent, it is also a powerful expectorant. So all of those qualities, also with the addition of it being a slightly narcotic. It's considered to be a nervine, so it does ease pain. All of those qualities make it ideal in the healing of the respiratory system, and it is probably the most often utilized herb in respiratory formulas. Okay, so we're going to walk down there, and we're looking at a few of the plants on the way that are growing in the environment in the vicinity and share the similar energetic frequency as mullein. And this here would be the thimbleberry. It's a rather large patch of thimbleberry, and thimbleberry has just finished being a berry. There's one little baby one left. Looks like this was a really nice spot to collect earlier this summer. So thimbleberry is similar to mullein in the way that the leaves are velvety soft, and thimbleberry is more, though, of a plant that is feminine in nature. So the experience of collecting berries is lovely, soft, enjoyable. The berries sort of fall off into the hand. There are no thorns. The color of the berry is a very pretty pinkish to reddish, and also is the shape is feminine in nature as well. So mullein, on the other hand, would be considered a more masculine plant. And we're looking down the road at the patch of mullein, and represented by the energies of the sun. And in my Herb Crafter's Tarot, actually mullein is the Ace of Wands, which, or rather in that tarot deck, it's the Ace of Fire, which is the Ace of Wands in traditional tarot. So it is speaking to new beginnings, and especially those related to artistic endeavors. And mullein, one use of mullein is as a magic sort of torch wand. So you can actually dip the flower stalks after they have died off into wax, and that will produce a torch. So yeah, I'm going to start walking down there. So mullein, to me, has more masculine qualities and really reminds me of a person. It can grow over 6 feet tall. And another one of its uses is to relax and align the spine. So the stalk is very straight, and the properties that help to relax and align the spine are the nervine properties and the anti-inflammatory properties as well. It helps to improve the quality of the cerebrospinal fluid. And when you're looking at the plant itself and you're thinking of the spine and the crown at the top and the softness, and really it is this energy of inner strength and outer softness that propels itself towards the light, and in that sense is reminiscent of our journey as people, and also speaks to the benefit of meditation, because we have this aligned spine and we have these properties that encourage healthy breathing and the utilization of the breath to promote calm and peace and inner strength. So yeah, let's go take a look. So the mullein is a biennial plant. It has generally a life cycle of 2 years, which also would speak to the cycle of life in terms of humans as well, as it represents the breath and life cycles. So the birth and death cycle can be seen in this plant. And a few other properties I want to mention before I forget are that it's actually a great plant for the lymphatic system. It's excellent for detoxification when you consider the benefits to the respiratory system and the lymphatic system, as well as it is excellent for the endocrine system, so the glands. So it inspires and improves the function of the glands, especially the throat chakra area, which is the thyroid gland and parathyroid. So let's go take a look. So the first year it emerges, it produces a basal rosette only. So just like the base of the plant. And then the second year, it shoots up this flower stalk. And the flowers, the whole entire plant actually can be used for treating for ear infections, but the flowers especially are used to produce an oil. So you can steep the flowers in oil. Olive oil would be probably the best choice. And then you can use them to remove the pain, inflammation, and to clear out the ears and treat the infection. So, and the flowers kind of pop off like popcorn. They don't all bloom at the same time, which makes it just like the berries that we were just looking at, which makes it have a longer cycle of use for the bees and the butterflies to enjoy. The root can also be used, and in terms of the spine, it would be more related to the sacrum or low back. And it's also used in treating urinary tract infections. And the leaves don't contain a lot of water, so they do lend themselves well to drying. You don't lose a lot in that drying process. Another way you could prepare and preserve the leaves would be to chop them and steep them in honey. The flowers as well. That's what I'm thinking. I might do with a few of these flowers is to make a mullein honey. It just preserves the life when you do a honey. And when you do a tincture, it kind of pulls the life out and puts it into the tincture if you do an alcohol tincture, which is also recommended. And then, yeah, it's really easy to dry the leaves and keep them on hand. You could even powder them up. Mullein is also a nutritive plant, so it's very safe to take internally. It can be taken by children. It can be taken safely even in pregnancy. So you don't have to worry about having too much mullein tea. One thing you do want to consider, however, is where you source your mullein. So this guy is like well over 6 feet tall. Not quite as tall as the pine tree, but almost. And so because it does grow along the side of the road and in disturbed areas, you want to make sure that you're not collecting it from areas that have been sprayed or otherwise have environmental pollutants. Okay. Along with the alignment of the physical body and the spine, it's also used to align the etheric body to the physical body. And as a solar plant representing the sun, I wanted to make note of what is growing. So we have the two main plants growing with the mullein in this area anyway are St. John's wort and the thimbleberry, which we just talked about, the thimbleberry. St. John's wort is also considered a plant of the sun. It's like a microcosmic sun. Very brightening, lightening, relieves anxiety and depression. I've done a whole other video on St. John's wort, so I'm not going to go into that right now. Both of these plants, however, have been used historically to protect against any kind of darker entities or evil spirits back in the day. They have both been used for those purposes. Okie dokie, I think that is it. And I hope you enjoyed our little journey and conversation with Mullein. And thanks for watching. And until next time.